Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be doing another First Impression Fridays, and I'm going to be talking about Alum a la Rose and Clive Rock Rose. So stay tuned for that. And if you like First Impressions, top 10 lists, fragrance reviews, and cologne comparisons, hit that subscribe button for more great content. So I actually picked both of these just because they are both rose-dominant fragrances. I heard a little bit about the MFK, but not too much. I did hear it was actually quite good, especially for a rose fragrance for men. So I thought I would try it out as I had a sample. And of course, MFK is a really talked about brand. Now, Clive Christian, I've not found anything from the brand that I actually enjoyed. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but nothing I really loved or nothing that really sort of stood out to me. But Rock Rose is one that's been taught. It's probably the most hyped from this brand. So I wanted to give it a try, see what people are talking about, and of course, seems like the perfect pair to do First Impression Fridays. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start with the L'Homme à la Rose, just because I guess I don't really know what to expect from it. Yeah, so let's get into it. So I will say that is rosy, as you would expect. It's sweet. It's a little bit fresh, uplifting. There's something there that definitely has a nice freshness to it. Now I'll say this, the rosiness that I get in this is definitely not like other fragrances that I've smelled that are rosy, except, well, even not like that. So it comes across very fresh. There's got to be some kind of citrus in there that I'm getting up top as well, but I don't get anything like, if you think of like a jammy rose, like in some of the Tom Ford fragrances, or even the type of rose you get, especially in the opening of either Criminal of Love or Toy Boy by Moschino. Both of those have a sort of a bubblegummy kind of rose, and this doesn't really come across that way. I'm getting a lot of freshness, a lot of citrus. It's not feeling overly complex, and yeah, that citrus is really nice though. It feels very juicy, very realistic, very refreshing. So in some sense, I guess it has a kind of a almost typical opening that you would expect for a lot of men's fragrances. It has a bright kind of citrus, which is a popular thing to do. Nothing really jumping out. I gotta be honest with you, the rose is not that strong at this point. I get it kind of as like an undercurrent underneath all the freshness. But it is definitely there, and it doesn't come across overly floral. Now for me, I find that heavily floral fragrances to me typically smell like women's perfume. That's just an association that personally I make, and I will say that, this fragrance, at least right now, I'm definitely not really getting that kind of association. But it does have, it has a little bit of a rosy undertone. There's something in there kind of, it creates this sort of vivid image of a freshness, a really nice freshness surrounding a real rose that's just sort of sitting there. A very vivid image of that. You get a bit of greenness of the stem in there. And yeah, it's nice. Don't love it, but it is nice. I was expecting way more rose, but hey, whatever. I'm going to jump into Rock Rose and see what all the fuss is about from this one. Tell you, it was really nice having an actual spray on instead of these dab-ons for that other one. So this is totally different than I expected. So in this one, I do get also a freshness. There's kind of this jelly-like accord that I kind of get there. I don't know. A lot of fragrances have that, where it does have this sort of almost jello-y kind of feel to it. I what feels like a slight spice with this one. Very, very faint. And there is definitely, you know, I'm definitely getting a little bit more of a floral vibe, but not in an overpoweringly or overly floral feel. I don't really pick up a lot of a rosy kind of vibe either, the kind of rose anyways that I'm used to. There's something there that does smell just a little bit bubblegummy, so there is kind of a sweetness too. But it's sort of fresh, a little bit sweet and bubblegummy. Very, very slight sort of pepperiness and a little bit floral as well. But definitely not overly rosy by any means. This one also I wouldn't say comes across overly floral, particularly floral or rosy in any specific way. It does smell certainly familiar, and I will say this one does smell pretty nice. I gotta say, this is actually a real. It smells like a very nice, easy, casual wear, especially for like springtime. This is definitely smelling like it would be a really great spring fragrance. I kind of get it. I gotta say, for all the people that have talked about this fragrance and said, you know, it's really amazing, really good, I do definitely am kind of feeling this one. It does have this really nice, appealing, fresh, almost bubblegummy kind of a vibe. You know, in the opening, it felt like there was this breezy floral kind of vibe that I sometimes get with Violet, but not quite so much anymore. But it is interesting. But again, it does. There's something I've smelled that is similar to this, and it's not the kind of fragrance that I would have expected. But it is certainly interesting. I'm going to go back to L'Homme à la Rose, see if it's developed, see if it's become more rosy. So I think I definitely do pick up a little bit more rose, but it comes across a little artificial feeling, like kind of plasticky. I don't know. There's something there that doesn't really agree with me personally, and I'm having a hard time pinpointing exactly what it is, but there is something that just feels artificial, and not in the sense that it feels like a synthetic smell, like a synthetic molecule. It's more like it smells kind of plasticky or not natural. I know those are kind of the same thing, but it feels weird. I mean, it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't see buying it, especially for the MFK kind of prices. It is nice, but again, there's something there that I'm just not really agreeing with, and I'm not really sure what it is. So I'm gonna go back to Rock Rose for one little bit, see what we got. It is really nice, but again, it's weird. It smells like something that I totally know, and it's weird because it's like I almost want to say Invictus or something weird, but because there is this freshness, but there is something about it that has this kind of almost bubblegum sweetness mixed in with a little bit of spice, sort of a light floral texture. It is actually really nice. This is a super easy wear. Like I said, spring, summer, definitely spring though. This one would be perfect, you know, if you're going out during the day, on a nice spring day. This would just, because it has this sort of lively, not bright, but lively kind of floral texture to it that is really nice. And it is quality. I mean, you could wear this one formally, for sure. But there's something about it that just seems like you're out during the day, sun shining, nice, beautiful, maybe a nice breeze going on. kind of spring day kind of fragrance, just chill to the max, but it is really quality, and there's a lot of luxury associated with this brand. So obviously you can dress it up, but like I said, that is an easy, like, daily, anytime wear. I mean, you could technically wear this pretty much anytime. Office fragrance, very office safe, I would think. I mean, it does have a little bit of a rosiness coming in too. Not overly strong, but again, it has a little bit of that bubblegummy rose. Nice. L'Homme à la Rose. I'm going to have to say I don't really like it. I know a lot of people will hate me for saying this, but I don't really like MFK. There's not that many fragrances that I've found that I really enjoy. I do like Gentle Fluidity Silver. I like some of Francis Kirkjohn's creations, but as far as the brand has or is, there just aren't really any fragrances that capture me. Other than, like I said, I do like Gentle Fluidity Silver, but like I don't like Baccarat Rouge 540. There's a couple other fragrances I tried from them that just kind of didn't do it for me, and this is in that category. There's something that smells very off about this. It just reminds me of like maybe a little bit plasticky. I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm going to cut it there. I am going to cut it there. Clive Christian, the decisive winner on this one, in my opinion, and definitely, at least from the fragrances that I've tried. So I've tried the whole Clive line, the CLIVE, and this one now. And I will say, if you're gonna just buy a sample of one, try this one. This one, really, really good. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. Leave a comment down below. Have you tried either of these fragrances? Do you like anything from Clive Christian? Anything from MFK? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.